Alright, today we're going to show you an example on how to factor by grouping. So here we got 4 terms in this polynomial, and the only factoring technique that we use that has 4 terms is factor by grouping. So right when you look at this, it should be the first technique that you resort to. Now when you look at the 4 terms, they don't have a common factor. All 4 terms share nothing. So I need to narrow my scope down and factor by smaller groups. So I'm going to drop parentheses around the first 2 terms and parentheses around the last 2 terms. So while I didn't have a common factor amongst all 4 terms, I do recognize a common factor in my smaller groups. So my first group, 14 and 21, they're both divisible by a 7. When it comes to the variables, x to the third and x to the second, they both share x to the second. I can only pull out as many as the smallest variable. When I divide out x to the second, I'm left with 2x plus 3. Now I move on to my second group. I've got 16x plus 24. 16 and 24 are both divisible by 8. So I factor out the 8. Now factoring is a division technique, so I need to divide. 16x divided by 8 is 2x. 24 divided by 8 leaves me with a positive 3. Now what you recognize here, what we want to produce is matching binomials. I know my grouping technique worked because I've got 2x minus 3 in both cases. So I recognize 2x plus 3 is the greatest common factor. And if we factor out 2x minus 3, what we would have left is 7x to the second from the first group and a positive 8 from the second group. And there's an example of how we factor by grouping.